You're listening to the Yes, I'm Still Sober podcast with John Rabin. Hello, everybody. It's the Yes, I'm Still Sober podcast with John Rabin, episode 65. Shout out to the Draculas, who I use the music of course, but they just got through playing Riot Fest in Chicago, and I heard it went really, really well for them. Good for you guys. I hope it's going really well for you this week. How are you? Great. Good to hear. I've got a lot of going on. I've got a lot I got to still do today. So I don't know how long I'm going to do this podcast. Probably every time I decide that this probably won't go very long, I end up even going even longer. I don't know how that works out, but that's kind of my feeling for today. Is I'm like, man, I got to do some shit. Doing like some laundry. Okay, so I guess I'll start. What am I going to start with? Let me start with this. I don't know how to not promote it, but just kind of matter of fact. So CBD is a thing. You've heard about it. It's everywhere. Now there's making all different kinds of dumb products with it, and it definitely some people are like, it seems kind of psychosomatic. Snake oil, carpetbaggers, all this, Step right up and try this CBD. It'll cure what ails you, whatever you need. Hey, do you have a nasty bump on your thigh there? Well, here, try it. Rub some CBD oil. It'll make the bump go away. It'll cure your rickets. Bad breath? No problem. Drink this, motherfucker. Like, it just seems to me that it's been blown out of proportion. But I thought, what the hell? Because my girlfriend suggested, hey, have you thought about maybe trying some products with CBD in it? Maybe it'll calm you the fuck down. I don't know if she said that word for word, but that's almost a direct quote. I do remember calm the fuck down coming out of her mouth. So I tried a couple of products in the past week, and they're basically the ones that I was leaning towards was they've got bottled water with 10 milligrams of CBD in it. At my local convenience store, it's like $4.19 for a bottle, which you'd think for marketing purposes, they'd increase it by a penny. But no, it's $4.19. I don't know. But I tried it, and a couple of other things I got, my girlfriend got from her drugstore, which is like powder that you mix with 8 ounces of water. And it's one of those things where this water soluble intake portion it's more likely that it doesn't contain possibly up to 0.3 THC in it, because you'll read about how some CBD products might have a fraction of THC in it, and I was like trying to avoid any kind of possible anything. So I don't know. I think a lot of things related to the product is psychosomatic. The experts that I've talked to several different people who sell it, and based, totally judging them by their appearance, I took their advice with a grain of salt. The hippies, for example, I went, okay, sure. Anyway, you've shaved today. What's your opinion? Like, it was very, I don't know if that's necessarily, but I don't know. I just like, man, what you got to understand, man, is that CBD I'm like, man, you really should use more adjectives. Vocabulary. I mean, it's not just the patchouli and the beard, but yeah, it's just this, your manner of speaking kind of I don't believe you. But I listened to several different people, and the problem with it being is that a lot of products, kind of fly-by-night companies, it's just not reputable. So you almost have to really do your research and like check reviews and stuff to get products that are consistently the right level, not just this has got CBD in it, wink. Like, you've got to find the right kind of products. But let me tell you, because I tried it at work, like the water and then the powder packets, and it fucking works for me. It really kind of, and there was some nostalgia that reminded me of times that I've smoked weed. Maybe, and I remember the last time. It's probably 10 years, maybe 9 or 10 years that I think I did it once or twice, but it's been, since I've done it smoked weed consistently, it's been like 18 years. But it reminded me of a little bit of after you smoke weed and get high, and then when you come down and then you've just got it kind of that relaxed mode. CBD for me specifically, I'm not saying it'll do it for you, but for me, it really gives me that calm edge without making me feel like a fucking moron, and definitely without the paranoia because weed makes me acutely aware of all of my failures at once, which doesn't sound appealing, which is why I've never tried it again. Also, the last time I tried it, it amplified and made me want to do heroin. CBD doesn't make me want to do heroin. It doesn't make me high. It kind of chilled me the fuck out at work, which was interesting because one day they decided one of my big pet peeves as a dishwasher is unnecessary glassware. Like introducing yet another set of glassware that's completely different from the other 6 types that we have, that only has like one specific purpose, and it's unnecessary, but it's an idea that management has. Hey, what if we try doing this? And then, my objection, because it'll be a huge pain in the ass for me and nobody gives a shit. Nobody's going to use it. It doesn't matter what I think, because it's about sales, not about, is the dishwasher comfortable with this decision? So they did that though. They introduced another set of glasses. And I was like, well, that sucks. All right, let me just go about my day. And my coworker, Joe, the 19-year-old, was like, really? That's it? Like, I didn't, blow up or anything or go into a huge rant. I just like, well. And he just looked at me like, really? He's like, and he just kind of was like, holy shit, man. That CBD really works. I'm like, does it? And he goes, yeah, look at you. Yeah, you haven't bit an imaginary person's head off, just yelled into the air. So it does. It kind of keeps me down. Yeah, because my whole issue has been, overthinking all the time. You know this. I've said this several times, and it probably doesn't help that my only 2 vices are both stimulants. Vaping nicotine and drinking lots of coffee. Stimulants doesn't help my mood, and yet I don't give those up. But so I'm going to report that CBD from a reputable source, for me personally, when it comes to overthinking, it does help. There was a moment early on that I'm like, oh, like the first couple of days I wasn't used to it, and I was like going, what's going on here? I'm like, it almost makes me, I'm like, does this calm me down and chill me out by making me lethargic and not want to do anything? Because that's kind of what it felt like at first. But on day 3, there was a calming effect and I didn't feel lazy. So I'll report to you next week, let you know after doing it at work again, this upcoming weekend, I'll let you know if it's still working. But as of right now, I recommend it. What can I say? I don't know if you noticed in the news today, but India is going to ban all e-cigarettes in their country to protect the youth. All other tobacco products will not be affected. That's right. Millions and millions and millions of cigarette smokers in India. But they want to protect the youth. They're going to ban e-cigs. But they're going to keep the real ones. Oh, we're even worse, man. We're thinking about the president. Yeah, I used air quotes. The president said that, because he's thinking about banning, flavored, which I don't care if they ban the flavors. They're like, no more candy e-cigs. Sure, really, I'm not against marketing towards children and pussies who want candy. I want candy flavored vaping. There's because there's two kinds of vaping. There's the one where people just go, look how big that cloud is. You know what else is big? Those kind of guys. And then there's somebody like me who basically just sits there and goes, oh, Jesus, more nicotine, fuck. So, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but I know there's an epidemic. All of 6 people have died. 6. I've got to protect the kids, What about guns? Fuck it, we're going to keep the guns. And we're going to keep real cigarettes. But we need to look at this vaping thing. Because, we're old and we don't understand shit. So, I'm not going to really get into it, but that seems dumb. Banning just e-cigarettes and doing nothing to regular cigarettes. Or here, guns at all. Yeah, priorities, man. What's the trend this week? I'll move on. So my unofficial co-host, unwilling co-host, whatever, my cat, I had some issues. Some shit that went down last week. Or it started at first, I didn't bring it up last week because I wasn't sure what was going on. But she's had this kind of reaction. There's these things. Her meowing had been more like desperate, kind of like, hey, you tall fucker, help me, kind of meowing. And so she was having like back spasms type stuff. And what would happen is it would make her turn around and keep trying to lick her back like such a frustrated kind of and fast, turning around trying to get to her back to the point, it almost looked like a seizure, like epilepsy. Like it was just kind of and it was very just agitated and very, very jarring, and it just freaks me out. And so I was really kind of worried, and of course doing research on the internet. I know, but all the symptoms pointed to this thing called feline hyperesthesia syndrome, which is also known as rolling skin disease, and it's a rare illness in domestic cats that causes episodes of agitation, self-mutilation, and a characteristic rippling of the skin when touched. It is often described as a seizure disorder, but the cause is unknown. and researching it, looking at that, it basically people end up, getting different kinds of, like, even seizure medication. Like this, like, really expensive medication for the cats. And so I was really worried, and we're, going to take the cat to the vet. And I just haven't taken my cat to the vet. She stays inside. And she's just kind of and I was concerned about getting her there, in a carrier, and also because my girlfriend and I were concerned that all of this was being brought on by anxiety and, like, huge changes. And we were really concerned about the emotional welfare of Sid, the cat, because, my roommate moved out. So, half of her attention was, that she's given every day was gone like that. So, and then all this stuff, my roommate moved out her bed, so Sid notices that one of her 2 beds is missing. Where's all my shit? She probably thought. And so that's distressing when somebody comes and takes half of your shit. And she, and of course, my girlfriend's spending more time over here. And then, like, more recently, Lucas the dog, which is my girlfriend's dog, has been coming over. And Lucas loves cats. My cat does not like Lucas. She hates him. She stares at him like she wants to murder him in his sleep. It's big German Shepherd, and she's like, fuck you. And he's just the sweetest dog, but she does not care and is very unhappy with his presence. So all of this has been going on. And it's, and we're moving towards that, going to live together kind of a thing. So, like, the cat and the dog need to get along, or at least amicable ignoring of each other. Like, passing ships in the night or whatever. They're just going to need to, but the whole thing was that, this, really concerned about this, the cat. Maybe she's freaking out, lots of anxiety. Maybe we need to build her something like a cat tree or some kind of, not to get all hippie with it or weird, liberal bullshit, but just the whole safe space for the cat. But seriously, someplace up high where she can go, all right, the dog can't fuck with me. I get to look at everybody and judge them from up high. Something like that. And we were just really concerned about doing that and making it a project for my place, just something to give her a place to stay. And just really, looking into it. But also really concerned what the fuck's going on with this syndrome and with the with the spasms and is my cat dying? Is this because my cat's fat? I was also concerned that the vet was going to judge me heavily, even though I don't feed her a lot. Feed her like a can and a half of food a day. It turns out the cat's 13.5 pounds, by the way. I'm like, geez, I don't know. That doesn't seem great. But she's, because she's not obese, she's just like, I'm a big girl. I've got no claws. I didn't do that. That was a previous owner. I adopted her that way. But so I was really, really freaked out. So we get her to the vet. What's going to happen? What is the problem? What kind of disease does she have? You know what it was? Fleas. That's it. There's no FHS. There's no anxiety. Cat has fleas. I don't know what kind of projection of anxiety and problems and emotional issues that we were, maybe the cat's also feeling the pressure of life. No, the cat has fucking fleas. That's it. That's the only problem going on with that cat. She's still selfish. She's still all about herself. And what are you doing in my apartment? That's all the cat. No, the only thing going on with her is goddamn fleas, which was confusing to me because she doesn't go outside. I had this thought in my head going, no, there's no fleas. that could possibly come into my apartment, I keep the door shut. Like, that's what keeps out fleas, just keeping the door closed and the AC on. Not to mention that you live in an apartment where there's fucking dogs everywhere, and this apartment complex is shitty. So it's like, there's a good chance that could happen, and that's what it was. Unbelievable, man. The whole time. So, so she's doing fine now. We got the treatment. Now had to, do the flea comb thing on her and, do the monthly flea and tick treatment on the cat. That's, yeah. But at least I don't have to pay for expensive medication. But that's fucking nuts. Fleas. Also means that I have to treat the apartment just to make sure. I'm really lucky, though, because I've got all hardwood floors. I have no carpet. We don't have an infestation in the apartment. So, but also you treat the cat, all of a sudden the fleas are going to be like, I'm out of here. So got to make sure. So I've used different, some natural flea and tick sprays, and then also for different parts inside, and then also on the outsides, there's got to use. I've been using this Diet Mucus Earth. That's what I've been using. Is the Diet Mucus Earth, which is I've used in the past, or we used it in the past when I used to stay in a sober house. We had a problem with bed bugs, which was bullshit. Fuck bed bugs right in the eye. Those things are the worst. They're vampire bugs. It's bullshit. They're the worst, and most of you know and have had, at one point in your lives you've had to deal with them. They're the goddamn worst. Well, now what Diet Mucus Earth does is it is great. It dries out their exoskeleton and sucks all the moisture out of their bodies, and they fucking dehydrate, dry up, and die. It's fucking metal. It is so awesome. And it also works on fleas. So I've been using some. It was almost a failure because you use this kind of like this like a dust sprayer type of thing that kind of filters it out, but it does. It's still messy. It's stupid. It's some stupid shit. But I've got it like in cracks and underneath appliances and around, like you put it around like the base of furniture and stuff, and it's just and we're gonna treat that about once every couple of weeks, just to fuck these guys up, because it really does a number on insects, and it's great. And it's not harmful, as long as you're not just, it's like, oh no, it's completely safe for humans. Just eat it. Don't do that. But yeah, Diet Mucus Earth. I highly recommend it. I don't think that's how it's spelled, but you may want to take a look at it. Hey, that's going to be it for me this week. I'm just going to, that's really what I wanted. I wanted to talk about CBD and my cat. Those are really the two biggest things I wanted to talk to you guys this week. I hope you're staying sober. If you're sober, I hope it's going well, because at least here in Austin, we've, the temperature has dropped. We're in the, manageable 90s, no longer 3 digits. So it feels like things are not as insane out there. So I hope it's going well for you. If I hope you're staying sane. If you're not sober, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good week, and just keep going forward. I'm doing all right. Things are good. And thanks for joining me, you guys. We'll see you next week. This has been Yes, I'm Still Sober. I'm John Rabin. Later.